Hello everyone and welcome to this online edition of MEGAMIGS 2020. I hope you're having a great time watching conferences and meeting new guests. Talking about guests, this year we have for the first time at MEGAMIGS we are welcoming today an Italian delegation under the Italian Trade Commission umbrella. So welcome to Matteo Picariell and Mauro Farnelli. Hello.
Buongiorno.
They have 15 Italian companies of developers and one association named IIDEA, and a total of 26 delegates, all participating at MEGAMIGS this year. So we'll have a chance to know more about it in a few minutes. To talk more about the role of the Italian Trade Commission and their first participation at MEGS, let me introduce first Matteo Picariell, the Italian Trade Commissioner to Canada and heads Italian Trade Agency offices of Toronto and Montreal.
Grazie, buongiorno, bonjour, good morning. So again, my name is Matteo Picariell and I'm actually now in Toronto. So we have two offices, one in Toronto and one in Montreal. And I visited MEGAMIGS for my first time last year, and we were hoping to be all together this year, but it's good to be able to do it at least virtually. So we are very happy, and we thank the organizer also for all these parallel events. And so the Italian Trade Commission is the government body that supports Italian business export and cooperation worldwide. So every country has a similar organization, and Quebec also is very active. They have their own delegation in Italy and Rome, so we work very closely with them. And so usually our main activity is more related to what Italy is famous for. So I would say fashion and food first, but also a lot of machinery activity. But I'm very happy because my colleagues in Rome recently, they were being able to shift a little bit the budgets and to support also a very growing and interesting and challenging industry, as in general the creative industry and specifically the game industry as well. So this is very important. We have been supporting the movie and the audiovisual in Canada since a long time with all the festival here, and hopefully this is our first official participation to MEGAMIGS. So hopefully it will be the first of many to come, and we are very, very happy. And I also want to thank you, both the representative of the Italian Association, because basically we have them, but without them being able to group together all the companies and the people, which in Italy is not so easy to do, we won't be here. So I want to thank Mauro Farnelli, who's here with us, the Vice President of the Association, and also Giorgio Catania, because they have really been great partners. So they will talk very soon more, because they are the expert about the gaming industry in Italy, what's going on, and last year was a very positive year for us. I'm more like, I don't like this word, but like more on the generic intro. So I would just say a few words how we envision these activities in a more broadened policy. So I would say that Italy has a strong tradition and worldwide is recognized, as I said before, being a place where creativity, individualism, and innovation take natural place. But most people just link these skills, as I said, to the food, to the art, to the culture, and not necessarily to innovation and technology. And in reality, our artists, designers, innovation entrepreneurs, and I must say, and I'm talking from a public body, they operate in a difficult environment. So unfortunately, our financial system, our bureaucracy, it doesn't make their job as easy as we wish, as it should. But besides this, they have always been able to showcase their capabilities. And if we just think about how much Italy exports all over the world, how much our manufacturing quality is recognized, our research level as well, and more recently, the number of startups, developers, and the game industry is taking a bigger slice every year of our skills. So for us, it's very, very important to support them. And I would say that Italy, Europe, Canada, hopefully worldwide, with everybody's looking to get over this terrible period and the COVID and everything that has so hard hit every industry and everybody, our personal life. But I would say that we really think that we should take a chance to build up a different future. So this is the challenge. And the digital, the game, the creative industry is going to play a very important role in the future. And so we are not looking only to build up a more resilient Eurozone, but we think that it's really the time to think about how we want to envision our future and ourselves in the world. And so I'm not going to make an economic speech, but when at the end of July, the EU was finally able to get together and all the European leaders approved for the first time ever a 750 billion fund to help every country to recover. This was done, and so now the European Commission is able to borrow funds in the capital market on behalf of Europe. So before it was just every single country. So this is a big change. But what is more important and what I would like to focus is that this amount of money, which hopefully will help every business, is not just a recovery fund. So the official name of this budget is the Next Generation EU. And I think this really gives us, for the first time, probably a common ground to build up a different perspective for how we do business and what is more relevant in terms also of strategies. So in order to do so, we also need to focus not only in the future, but also to our best skills and capabilities. And not everybody I'm talking to people in the game industry, so I'm sure that they know everything what's going on, but generally speaking, Italy has so many skills which are not recognized properly for a number of reasons. Like, not everybody knows that we are the second manufacturing country in Europe and the fifth in the world for surplus. So like in every country, what we export more is technology and machinery. Or for example, we are a leader in EU for the circular economy and the green industry. Like in Europe, there is average recycling ratio is around 35. Italy stands up with 80% of recycling capability. And you think that France is second with 55. Or another example, we are leading Europe in terms of organic production. So we have 80,000 farmers that produce organically. And the second is Spain with a little bit more than half of this number. So there are a lot of areas where Italy has something to say, and we are sure that the game and developing industry will be one of these. And hopefully MEGAMIGS is going to be the platform where new friendship and relationship will develop. And I'm happy to say that Quebec has been able, I was mentioning that you have an office in Italy, you are very active. We had a seminar with Montreal International and other bodies, because Quebec has really been able to position themselves as a capital in the creative industry and the gaming industry. And I think that the political vision for this kind of changes is very relevant. It doesn't happen in one day. But also, I think that the CETA agreement that was signed between EU and Canada a few years ago, and the fact that Canada has a strong vision of positioning themselves in a more broad and geographical view, as well as in a different perspective. So the soft power that Canada is pursuing match very well with what is Italy today and what we want Italy to become tomorrow. So we are here to help the association, the gamers, and but also the Canadian companies wishing to take chance for this cooperation. Benedetta Marassi is the person in my office, so I thank her. She has not been able to be part of this presentation, but she will be your point of contact. So she's already an expert in the audiovisual industry, and hopefully she will become one in the gaming industry too. So you can address her any question or support through the Pine platform or by email if you are traditional like me. And so I'm not going to take any more time, because I think that was enough of generic introduction, and people are more keen to learn about the gaming in Italy. So please, Mauro, and thank you again for letting us be here today.
Thanks a lot, and yeah, like you say, we would like to know more about the current situation of the Italian gaming industry, its growth in the last year, and the role of the association and its steps to help the Italian gaming developers to grow. I don't know if you're still with us, Mauro, or if you are facing some technical issues. He doesn't seem to answer.
Okay.
Are you there, Mauro? Yeah, he's back. I think he'll be back in a few minutes. Yeah, like we are saying, so we would like to know more about the gaming industry in Italy, and I think you are the good person to tell us this, because to tell you a little more about Mauro Farnelli, he has been working in the gaming industry for more than 20 years as a journalist, and then as a founder, CEO, and creative director at Mixbag. And he's also the VP and developer representative at IIDEA. So we'd like to know more about what you have to say about the gaming industry in Italy. When you're ready, you can start the presentation you prepared, and can you oh can you hear us? Okay, so yeah, these are the little inconvenience of being online to do conferences, and but yeah, like you were saying, we have to improvise during COVID times, and oh, Mauro, back. I guess that
there is no audio.
Yeah, we can hear us.
Can you hear me, or you can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Sorry.
Everything's
it
all
seems
right.
I was muted. So sorry about that. I had, like, you know, when we did the test, everything was working perfectly, and now nothing is working actually.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun.
Okay. So okay, now I am showing the presentation, so you should see it too. And so first of all, thank you so much, Matteo, for the introduction, and thank you so much, MEGAMIGS, for having us this year. You know, it's a huge opportunity for us. As you know, the game industry in Italy is quite big, but quite small, but it's getting, you know, stronger and stronger every year. I want to start with a bit of a personal note, because actually, yes, I've been in the industry for quite a long time, first as a journalist, but I've been a developer only for the last 8 years. So funding my own company and so on. And one of the first things that we did when we funded the company was getting idea, as we call it, or idea in Italian, to, you know, be a part of the industry. Back then, it was 2013, I think. Wow, the Italian game industry was actually really, really small, a lot smaller than it is now. So it's been great for me personally, and for us as an association, to see the industry grow and grow and grow. And right now, you know, we're still quite small, but we are like punching above the line. We are like getting bigger, and the last few years have been amazing for us. There have been a lot of great games coming out, and we can really, you know, feel the industry improving and the production improving. So it's actually a very exciting time for us. Yes, there is COVID. It's not good at all for Italy, but I think that the Italian game industry is in a good place to grow. About us, so who we are. Idea, as I've said, we are the Italian video games trade body, actually. We try to push the video games industry forward in Italy with a lot of different initiatives. We used to be called AESVI in the last years, but we had a full rebranding at the beginning of this year with the idea to have a more international image. Actually, in the association, we have 3 different souls, if we can call it this way. We have platform holders and publishers, we have esports, and we have developers in the association. I'm actually vice president and developer representative in the association, so I represent the developers. We work basically to grow the Italian ecosystem, and right now we are really focusing in improving our relationships with the world. So creating different connections with other associations, working with with you, for example, and with the Italian Trade Commission to really strengthen our position in the world. For us, international recognition is extremely important because video games is an international market. So we are obviously focused on the Italian market, but it's crucial for us to be present all over the world. Some numbers. So the Italian game market is quite big. It's worth 1.10 billion euros, and we have around 17 million gamers in Italy. Actually, Italy is the 4th or the 5th, it depends on the year, market for video games in Europe. So yeah, we are quite big as a market. Smaller as developers. We do, we get some data from the Italian market and from the developers, and right now there are around 120 game development studios of different dimensions. So we are going from Milestone or Ubisoft Milan, they are the big guys with over 100 developers in the studio, down to small independent studios made by 1 or 2 persons. We estimate that there are around 1,000 professionals working in the industry right now in different capacities. And as I said, we are quite small because 60% of the studios are actually startups, and the vast majority for now are very, very, very small studio, almost boutique studios, independent studios. But a trend that we've seen in the last few years is being one of growth. So production budget and quality of the products really improved in the last few years. Again, for a personal note, we started as a small independent studio doing the small games in 2 people. Right now we are a lot more, and we shipped probably our biggest game last year. So yeah, I'm talking about me personally, but a lot of other Italian studios doing the same. So production value and quality and budgets are on the rise in Italy right now. We have huge challenges actually, because as I said, the industry is quite small sized. So it's tricky to have such a huge amount of small studios. It's very difficult to scale up, and as Matteo said, actually Italy is not an easy place to do business because bureaucracy tends to be a bit crazy. It's difficult to get funded. Usually, the vast majority of our associates are self-funded. So as you can imagine, it's like playing in hard mode in every video games. So yeah, it's definitely challenging. Not only for video games, but for a lot of other industries to do business in Italy. And this is a problem that we are slowly overcoming. Actually, if we look outside of Italy, we have a lot of developers, Italian developers working abroad, and also funding big studios around the world. Some of the other challenges we have is getting government support. We've got huge support from the Italian Trade Commission. We have been working with them for some years right now, but it was a bit of an exception because it's not that easy to get government support in Italy. Like cinema is more well supported than us in Italy. They have different kind of incentives. We don't have that, but we are working on it. So things are really improving on that side, especially in the last year. And I talk about it a little more later. Another huge problem that we have is one of social acceptance. So it's something that we've seen it's changing, but for a lot of years, video games in general, playing video games or making video games, it has not been very, it's talking about it in Italy, it's not really social acceptable to do that. So it's been like, okay, you just play games, stuff like that. So the industry was not taken seriously for a long time, despite the numbers. The numbers are good, but the social perception was not there. Right now, we've seen huge changes on that, especially in the last year. So things are changing and are changing fast, luckily. So yeah, there are challenges, but at the same time, we have a lot of great opportunities. For example, as Matteo said, yeah, we are famous as Italian for creativity and innovation. Yes, probably all over the world, we are more famous for, fast cars, fancy cars, and food and design. But I think those are capacities that really translates well to the game industry and the game business. So what we've seen is a lot of innovation and a lot of very, very high quality products coming out of Italy in the last few years. Probably, if I have, talk about two of the genre that we are more capable in, it's racing and horror. Probably, there is Milestone or Kuno Simulazioni doing, MotoGP and car simulation, driving simulator. And we, especially in the last few years, we really had some great horror games coming out of Italy. So those are probably the two genres that we are most famous for right now. At the same time, as I said, we have a lot of creativity and innovation coming out. So this is a huge point, if ever, for our country. At the same time, since the industry is still quite small, we see great opportunities for investment, both from other Italian companies than from abroad. We've seen some great investments in the last year. So like Milestone in Race World, and in smaller studios like Destiny Beat. So for the first time, we've seen some investment coming, a huge investment actually coming, from abroad to Italy. So it's like, okay, we probably know how to do video games and going fast. Other thing is that the industry, it's yeah, it's small. We have small studios, but this is an opportunity again, because with small studios, we can be very agile and very fast in adapting the market. But at the same time, we have very big and structured studios like, as I've said, Milestone or Ubisoft Milan. And we also have one big publisher, it's 505 Games, that's actually have been born in Italy, and it's from Milan. So going forward, what are you doing? As we've said, last few years have been years of growth. So the industry, Italian gaming industry, is really growing fast. What we've seen is a huge variety of titles. So I spoke about racing and horror games, but right now, we are trying to do more different kind of games. So we've seen a lot of great games coming out in the last year on a lot of different genres. So I think going forward, we'll see a lot more variety from Italian game company. We had a huge win this year. We've got the first, government funding video games prototype. It's the first playable fund. It's something that, as an association, we've been working toward for a lot of years, and we are so happy to have been finally able to have it approved from our government. Basically, what is a first playable fund is a 4 million euros fund for Italian game developers, and it funds prototypes. So it's aimed to get your prototypes really polished up, and it finances up to 250,000 euros per prototype, and I think it will be a huge opportunity for the Italian game developers to finally have a fund, really aimed to push the prototype phase of product. We think that it will be a huge success, and it will really help, the Italian game developers to really shine with their future productions. At the same time, another huge win that we had this year was the interest of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in developing a video games to promote the image of Italy in the world. So the game is now in production, and it's something that, it's the first time that a ministry actually wanted to develop a video game to promote the Italian image around the world. So I think this is a very important message that's going to our associates and to all the Italian game developers. At the same time, obviously, as I've said, we also always had great support from the Italian Trade Commission. They really believed in our sector for years, and they are continuing supporting us. So this is, I think that Italian game developers always had huge opportunities thanks to the Italian Trade Commission interest in the sector. At the same time, we are really pushing our international partnerships as an association. Last year, we really tried, to forge bonds like we do, or with both private company events around the world. So right now we have partnership with Epic Games, Unity, and a lot more. And it's something that, as an association, we see as one of the key driver for our industry. So we will continue to work to improve our international relationships and international partnerships around the world. Just to end it up, we have these slides. It represents some of the finest products from Italy in the last few years. As you can see, there are quite a few different kinds of games. So we have Mario plus Rabbids from Ubisoft Milan. It's been, a huge success and a great partnership between an Italian studio and Nintendo. So you can really do better than this, I think, working on Mario. We have Ride 4 for Milestone, so one of the top and finest racing game around. Secret Oops, actually, it's a game made by my studio, and it's an Apple Arcade, and it's using augmented reality in a very innovative and fun way. It's been our biggest production, and we've been so happy to work with Apple and to have the opportunity to use augmented reality in such an interesting way. The Suicide of Rachel Foster from 101%. It's a narrative adventure game, very, very, very cool, with very mature team. Red Out Space Soul for 3-4-bit Things, another game that's on Apple Arcade and from another studio from Turin, and I am from Turin, so hi, we are really near actually. And Close to the Sun, another amazing adventure game. Third person, it was an exclusive on the Epic Megascore. So yeah, one of the biggest games that came out in Italy from an independent studio in the last few years. Thank you so much. I hope to, have given you an overview on what's the Italian gaming industry right now. And thank you again for, having me and having us.
Thanks a lot for this presentation, Mauro. We maybe have a time for one question that I will ask you. Both of you were talking about the fact that we are underestimating the Italian industry in terms of talent, its talent, and in terms of the technological. In the technological industry, I mean, and for example, in Montreal, here we have a lot of talents in VFX. We have a lot of VFX artists, a lot of VFX schools, and a lot of VFX studios. So it's a talent that was developed over time. Is there something like this, or a skill, or something that's developed over time in Italy? Or what are the specificities or the talents Italy may have? I don't know.
Well, I think we, this question for me has two kind of answers. First of all, in Italy, we have very good taste, actually. So, in design and stuff like that, we are really good at that. Maybe it's a bit underestimated sometimes, but it's something that you can really feel. Probably it's because, we have such a beautiful country. So when you just go around, we have a lot of beauty around, architecture, arts, and stuff like that. So you're really immersed in this kind of environment from when you are born, actually. So you can really feel it. The other thing is that I think, it may be a bit of a cliche, but Italians are really good on just, overcoming obstacles and reinventing themselves. So we are really good at self-adapting. And when you put both things together, they work really, really well. If we look at the Italian game industry, I think that one problem that we had, we were such a slow starter in the beginning. So we lost a lot of years in the past, and a lot of talents from Italy actually went abroad if they wanted to work in the game industry. So basically, if you wanted to do video games like 15 years ago in Italy, you didn't have a lot of choices. So a lot of people just went abroad working, probably in Canada. So so the thing is that right now, I think, this kind of talents working abroad at the same time, having an industry that was really not very well developed, was really killing it. Right now, I think it was like in the last 10 years, it was a slow process of rebuilding it from scratch. But I think that right now we are in a very good position to really go. So attract maybe some talent backs and grow our internal talents in gaming. What we have to do is keeping investing in the sector, actually.
Yeah. Do you have something to add about it, Matteo? Or?
Oh yeah, I think that you touch a very important point. So we truly need to invest more in education in general. So, and that is one of the priority of our government. So hopefully soon we will be able to see some fruit from the seeds that were planted before. But you must consider that in general, for a number of reasons, like the way our creativity historically has been developed is more from the hands-on than from a formal education path. So we have few exceptions because we have some of very good top engineering school in Italy or architectural school that are worldwide recognized. But otherwise, for example, most of the, and I think that one of the reasons why, and this goes back to what we said before, is if you think the food industry or the hospitality industry, where Italy, most of the best known schools are based in Swiss. okay, where there is no cuisine specifically. I mean, sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's so there is like this mismatch. But then after you do your education, if you want to go with a top chef in a good restaurant and learn your skill and put it in practice, you go to Italy. And in factories is the same. So most of our entrepreneurs are coming from with a top down to the top idea. So they work and then develop an idea, they build up their own factory. So the gaming industry, as Mauro said, is still in this process. And one of the things that is really changing in Italy is that not only the gaming industry has been able to be more recognized, but also the startup concept has finally took a process. So it's easier than it was before to get funded, because you don't want to invest 5 years to study and then you have to go somewhere else, you know. Doesn't make sense. So I think that the attraction of skills is meant to stay in a place at least for a while. And so the funding, the capability to support also economically, financially, young people, entrepreneurs is changing. So first, I believe this will be the basis for also developing good schools, hopefully.
Okay, so in the same time, invest in schools, in education, and help the company to grow, would help Italy to develop its gaming development and gaming community. This was, I feel it was all the time we had to discuss about all this this subject. So thanks a lot to you, Matteo Picariell and Mauro Farnelli, for being with us today. And in the chat, if you have more, if you want to know more about all the 15 Italian gaming companies present at MEGAMIGS this year, you can find the Italian delegation under the Italian Trade Commission pavilion and have a look at all the kiosks on the Pine, on the platform we have for MEGAMIGS. I wish you a great day and a great experience at MEGAMIGS, even if it's done online this year. It can be also a good opportunity to maybe see more conferences and discover things you wouldn't have discovered in normal time. So thanks a lot for being here, and I hope we'll have a chance to talk more about the gaming industry in Italy over the future, in the future.
Grazie, merci. Thank you to everybody.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.